Okay, we're back to the seller's net sheet, and we were right here. Does CA state withholding apply, or does FERPTA withholding apply? This is only necessary if this person is a foreign person that owns property in the United States. The United States wants to make sure that they get their piece of the pie when this deal closes. So this is usually not likely to happen, but if it does, you will need to know what that percentage is. The state of California uses one percentage, and FERPTA, which is federal, uses another. And most escrow companies know what that percentage is, and they would be able to tell you that number. Let's go down to broker's fees. The listing broker, you just put in your percentage, 3%, of course, tab, and it auto-populates. Buyer's side will be generous and say we also gave them 3%, and it puts their amount there. Then you notice we come down to miscellaneous seller cost, HOA transfer fees, HOA doc fee. I would increase this doc fee to $300. I've seen it as high as $500. If the seller has agreed to pay a home warranty, and most buyers want one, I would say yes, and then I would put the amount. Defaults to $400. That's kind of average, but for a $650 house, it's probably more like $450, maybe a little bit more. Most buyers want to have a pest inspection, and you can get them for $65. I think I would change it to $100. And depending on this house is new, if it's new or old, the pest repairs, if it's an old house, it's going to cost about $2,500 to tint this house. But I'm going to say this is an older house. Yes, it was built in the 1960s, and it's about 2,000 square feet, so it's about $2,400. So I'm going to put that. And in this case, the buyer had plenty of down payment, and they did not ask for any closing costs, so we're going to leave that at 0. Then it has credits to the seller. I've never seen a case where there are credits to the seller. If something comes up that fits, you let me know. Owner finance doesn't fit. Escrow fees, it does default the escrow fees to $1,500 with doc prep fee of $50, and then it has miscellaneous fees of $300. And if there's any other kind of fees that you know are going to apply in this case, maybe some past due HOA fees or other repairs that the buyer has already negotiated with the seller that the seller is going to be responsible for, this is where you would put it. Now we've completely filled out the template, so we come down here and we press calculate. And within seconds, we have everything spelled out for the seller right here. Sales price of $650, his loan amount is the first thing that's taken off, and it leaves him equity, gross equity of $225,000. And then in this column, this is all the items that were either auto-plated or that we input into the seller's net sheet that he is going to be responsible for. So now he has a net of a cost of $47,219. The prorations are $4,084. This gets deducted from his $225,000 gross equity, and he's left with net cash equity of $173,697. So that's how you prepare a net sheet. Pretty simple, and it's one of the first things they ask you about: how much money am I going to walk away with? Hopefully you'll get a chance to work with a buyer that still has equity.